Department of Agriculture wants to use our tax money to buy 400,000 tons of sugar to limit supply and boost prices so sugar producers can pay back government loans that they could default on. You follow me here on this? Okay. We loaned them money, and now we're giving them more money so they can pay back our loan. You still wonder why we're $16 trillion in debt? Anybody? Any questions?
No questions from me. Jay Leno gets that one exactly right. It's so absurd that it's fodder for a comedy show. But it shouldn't make us laugh because we pay for it. America's sugar producers are among the most privileged of the chosen ones, and they declined to come on this program to talk about their scam. We ask all the big sugar groups, the Florida Sugarcane Growers Cooperative, Colorado Sugar Beet Association, and so on, all said no. The U.S. Agriculture Department also said no. So to get an explanation for why sugar producers are the chosen ones and how their scam works, let's turn to Sally James, a trade specialist at the Cato Institute. So this costs Americans about $3 billion a year in higher prices.
Absolutely. It depends on the difference between world prices and domestic prices, but it's anywhere between $700 million to, in 2011, almost $4 billion a year.
And so it's not a direct subsidy, but a price guarantee. Explain it.
That's right. We don't actually give money to sugar growers except in exceptional circumstances like what Jay Leno was referring to. What we do is we shovel support to these farmers by keeping prices high, and the way we do that is by isolating the market. We limit domestic supply through something called marketing allotments, and we limit imports through quotas.
And how did this come to be? Because this is sugar. We're supposed to not like sugar.
Right. Well, we've had sugar tariffs since 1789, and there was a Sugar Act in 1934 that added to the program.
To protect the American sugar industry.
That's right, and it comes about through three main factors, all of them political. First of all, we have, if you like, a very powerful group that spends a lot of money on lobbying. They're a small...
The farm industry spends a lot anyway, but sugar spends the most.
That's right. Even though it's only about 2% of US crop production, it actually spends about 30% of the lobbying money of the crop industries. The other problem with this program is it's hidden. It's not a line item on the federal budget. And there's unequal incentives to lobby. Okay, consumers pay a few dollars a year to maintain this status quo. They don't necessarily know about it. They certainly don't want to lobby.
You don't have an incentive to
exactly.
go to Washington.
Where's the incentive to do it? But the producers have huge incentives whenever people talk about reform to stop it, because they stand to lose hundreds of millions or billions of dollars a year if reform is implemented.
I also think it succeeds because it's complicated and boring. People can get their brains around it. Solyndra, you could see the building, solar panels, it's a line item on the budget.
Absolutely.
The GSA scandal where there's a guy in a hot tub with a champagne glass. That
hot tubs are far more interesting than marketing price allotments and import quotas. Absolutely.
Now, David Stockman was on this program earlier talking about the great deformation, how these policies distort the economy. This does that too and just hurts poor people in other countries.
Absolutely. So that the losers of this program, we know who the winners are, we know who the chosen ones are, but the losers are American consumers, not just you or I if we buy candy or sugar, but also candy manufacturers who have to pay more for sugar, and other countries who might export their sugar to the United States if they could, and that is a lot among some of the poorest countries in the world, in Africa, in the Caribbean, and Brazil, other countries.
And the beneficiary is like the Fanjul family, one of the richest families in the country. Brilliant lobbyists. They've lobbied me, very charming people. They say that you have to help us because these other countries, they subsidize their sugar producers. Without all this help, we can't compete with them.
If other countries subsidize their sugar producers, that means their sugar will be cheap. That's good. That's a gift to the American consumers. We should thank them.
If they want to rip off their taxpayers, we should freeload.
That's a problem for them, but we should be grateful.
Thank you, Sally James of the Cato Institute. Coming up, taxis on demand. A new app helps you hail a taxi, but the chosen one